should record.
I am going to. Here you go, Jed. These are for you.
Okay. Yep.
I am going to get an extra point of effort. It won't let me take it. Oh, yeah, well.
I think I would like to get one might edge, maybe.
Just because my guy has been trying extra hard to do stuff, he has somehow become enthralled with the will to do better.
Well, actually, we
Where did you put them, Sam? Just here.
There, yeah,
we've
they're all in a
left
pile.
the place, but are we? Do you want to rest to do these upgrades or whatever?
Nah, I'm happy if you just do them.
Cool. I'm gonna get, as I said, one to my might edge. There we go. I have an edge for each.
So where did you put them? So I know I've got. Okay, no, I'm being really stupid. Yeah, fine. I've only found one, and now I've actually found all 4 of them. Okay, good.
Yeah, they were stuck together. If you put them on top of each other, they seem to stick together.
Kind of flung mine with reckless abandon. They're also really small.
Yeah, I don't have any in my hand though. You
Yeah.
can see.
Yeah, I can.
There you go. That's some tiny ones.
Thank you, Gex. You took a point of might edge, did you, Gex?
Yes. So now
Okay,
I have one edge in each thing.
Nice. Okay, cool. I'm just making up a couple of ciphers that you may or may not find.
Cool.
I believe Gex had just got his hat back and we were stood in a cave, right?
Yes.
With a closed door behind
That
us.
was right, yeah.
After escaping the Morlock versus whatever scrap.
I believe we were on our way to stab Lyra and steal his pistol.
Well, yeah. And we have Sandy with us. What's her name?
Starla Sander.
Starla Sanders, that's it. Or is it just Sander? The Sander family.
Arnold Sanders, yeah.
Yeah. Nice bucket of chicken.
A bucket of vegan chicken. Let's change my batteries.
I wish there was a dark mode for tabletop. Av, did you get to watch the stream of them fighting the other night? Did anyone put one up for you? In MO.
Oh, yeah, but I honestly can't remember.
Oh, fair enough.
Tuesdays, I'm always drunk on Tuesdays.
What were they doing? Just very big scrap.
Playing that game.
Oh,
yeah, I just jumped in to see if it was any use, but like, yeah. I have no idea what happened. I think I got bored and fucked off. Been playing a lot of Space Engineers. I was up till like 4 o'clock, and then I only got 4 hours sleep, and then the eyes started to go at about 5 o'clock, and I was like, oh shit, if I don't squeeze in some sleep before the game, I'll be dead.
So the talking of space engineers, the CPU should be here next month, according to their stock list that's incoming. Which brings me on to the next question. Gex, can I have your old PSU?
Yeah, I guess so.
Sweet. Then I just need to buy some RAM. And we
Great.
can have a server.
Just head into CEX or whatever. I'm sure you'll get RAM fairly cheap.
Yeah, there's no guarantee it'll work.
Yeah. Like I said, I will just fork it myself so that Alma can have an upgrade. Get something nice for her and then take the stuff out of her thing and put it in the server. And then comes the question of working out dynamic DNS. And then making y'all user accounts on it so you can do what you want. How are we looking, Jed?
Nearly there. Yeah, nearly there.
Is there anything you plan on using the server for? I mean, any games-wise?
Right now, no. I probably download the Valheim thing at some point. But leave it off, you know what I mean? Just have it ready to go with the save in it. And then if anyone wants to play it, you can just pop it up. But no, not really. If we do racing on a set of Corsa, we can host it off of that.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to set up on that.
Yeah. I think it'll just be a case of download whatever the fuck you want off the game, the game server panel off of Steam and go home. Does it need its own Steam account or can we just use mine? I don't really know how that works.
It kind of depends on the game, but what we can, you'd be best off using. There's a Steam command. How does it work again? I don't know. I think there's a way you make a separate account. That's kind of the best way to do it. Because certain games won't let you launch it twice.
Yeah, got you.
On certain games, or understand what you're trying to do and will allow it. So.
Oh, that's too big. Okay. How do I adjust that then? The size of my... There we go, that'll do it. Okay. Starla. Elias.
Oh, I can't see anything on. Oh, did you initialize the thing before the thing or
I
something?
haven't put the map down, but I've just done some drawings, so there's no map on the table.
Oh, okay.
It's just a white tabletop. Right. Starla, Hector, Arnold, Elias. You have ostensibly, narrowly escaped being trapped in a cave beneath Sanderglen, beneath the end of Sanderglen, having deactivated the cosmic machine, the terraforming machine being used by the older members of the Sander clan, and that Starla was hoping to shut down. Ahead of you, or where you are there, the ceiling stone has rolled across and settled firmly into place. Hector has only just managed to recover his hat in the nick of time, nearly having lost it.
Oof.
Yeah, he did.
No sound comes through the rock. You know,
Well, that's
you
good.
are.
It means we won't hear them scream. They're
You
dying.
You say that in character. I'm sure he wouldn't say it.
No.
you find yourself in the triangular tunnel, the smooth, wallly sloped triangular tunnel down which you crept or travelled to enter this cave that you'd been passing beneath. And yeah, as I say, yourselves in the quiet. There's only one way to go. It is to back out the way you've come. Mercifully, at least you know some of the way once you get out there. You've only been down there, an hour or two, in which case it was fairly early. Probably by your estimates, it would be, a little after midday if you were to go up now.
Well, plenty of time to get back.
Yeah. In terms of, getting back before dark and things like that, even if you, you'll be, at the pace that you were making in the morning, you'll be back into Sanderglen, the town, by, before night.
Well, that was
But
bloody hairy.
Try to get a sense of what she wants to do now.
So
She was obviously super flustered.
yeah,
But essentially, from my character's point of view, he doesn't want to kill these people. But he definitely wants to see justice done. And it'd be better coming from the nominal mayor than, the vigilantes that just passed through, i.e. us.
so in terms of what she stated before, she said that she wanted to leave the Glen, get out the valley, go with you to Iron, but she did agree to go back home to pick up some supplies, what money she had, maybe say goodbye to a few people. That's what you've already discussed. She seems a bit calmer now, and you can hear her breathing heavily, having, kind of, she's getting quite a dump of the adrenaline from the previous scene, having run through there.
I don't recall. Did we ask her about Lyrell killing a household?
Yes, and she swore a lot, and she said that he'd done that.
Right. And he carried. Did he? And he took her to this location.
He sold me to them.
Unbelievable.
And is he the type of man who would do this of his own volition, or would he need, some brains behind the operation? He didn't seem all that imagine it when we talk to him.
Lyrel's a dog, and he'll bite what needs to be bitten.
Well, he should have
But
known her.
yeah, somebody's holding his lead.
Okay.
Well, in my mind, he's a murderer.
Yeah, absolutely.
He
Oh, agreed.
killed them. He killed.
And
What would normally happen if somebody gets murdered in your town? How is justice meted out?
Oh, curse it! It's on me, isn't it? I have to deal with this, don't I?
I
I
believe
don't
so.
want to. I don't want it.
you have more right to do so than we do.
Very much
I
so. And whatever, you know, it could be a very different town with those two gone.
I'd happily sit over a fair and just trial. It's sarcastic comments from you two.
Mm.
He must be brought to justice, in my mind. And even if you leave this place and it's the last thing you do here, at least leave everything settled as it should be,
Yeah.
and then put someone you trust in charge of the village, if you are to leave.
Who do I trust? Who do I trust? God's heck!
Well,
But
that's
the
not
trader.
Billy Grass seems like a fairly honest fella. I don't know about his managerial abilities, but he seemed honest at least.
He's got no backbone.
Mm-hmm. What about the staff at the inn? Or the priest? What was her name?
What was her name? Kieran?
Kieran.
Yeah, Kira Knightley.
What about just letting them sort it out for themselves? Like some sort of vote? One man, one vote? That might
Are
take
you
off.
mad? That idea
Yeah.
will never take off.
Kind of thinking leads to things like Nazis. Sorry, I know that's not. I wouldn't know about that.
And yet.
Unless you
And
found
yes.
you found a really, really old history book.
Yeah.
Well, either way, we need to go. We need to go back there. We need to take you back there. So, why don't we get to stepping?
Yeah. Have a think about it on the walk back. It'll take us 2 or 3 hours. Yeah.
What are we going to say to what's his face?
Lyrel, Thomas.
Thomas, yeah.
Well, we should probably be wary of Lyrel, you know, cornered animals and all that.
I think if Lyrel is
I've got
removed
5
from
spears with his name on it.
I think Lyrel is removed from the picture. I think Thomas will be without much of a leg to stand on in terms of negotiations.
Not much of a goat leg to stand on. He's
Yeah.
obviously half mutated, and if he's been changed already, who knows what he'll be like in the future.
I was going to say, as you say that, Gex, yeah, she's going to kind of stifle a laugh. As you say, you won't have a leg to stand on.
Maybe exile is in order.
Exile to the afterlife?
Banishment from the lands.
Oh,
And-
okay.
And
Well,
Laura,
if he
Laura
orders
should be
death,
hung.
he's just as guilty.
Then a good old-fashioned stoning, maybe. It's in order.
Arguably far more. I would argue that the merchant is far more dangerous than, you know, his dog.
Regardless, that thing, his weapon, shouldn't be in his hands.
No.
I say with wide eyes.
Oh, needs to be held safely by me.
Are you going to make your way up the tunnel then?
Yes.
Yes, we'll be doing that
Okay.
while we're talking.
Okay, sure. Okay,
Walk the tunnel.
while you're talking,
West Wing style walk and talk.
Walk.
So the tunnel is narrow enough you could walk two abreast. Knowing who's who there, would you like to kind of position yourself so I know who's at front and who's at back? You know your colours, I hope.
I'll go up front. Wait, no, Gav. You should go up front.
Yeah, I'll go up front, and it's probably
I'll bring up the rear.
I'll
Who's
probably
Starla?
just by myself up front because
There's Starla. We'll keep her behind Sam in front of me.
I will be
single file.
I'll be counselling her on laws of other lands and how they deal with problems such as this.
Okay.
Making suggestions on how to stone or inject or hang or flog or whatever these people.
And so, coming up there, Gav.
Yep.
After a few minutes, you're at the front, and the rest of you will kind of notice this time as well a little bit. You come up and you start to gain ground. First of all, you can see the sky, and the sky is that same kind of stone grey that it was when you were leaving. And then you get a bit closer, and you can hear wind and rain pattering up around you, and the weather has clearly worsened from the intermittent showers that you were getting before. Gav, you'll recall not liking the rain particularly when you were up there, but that's okay. Bear with me. And you approach up to the top, but you do come up into this fairly wooded valley. You know, this is where most of Sanderglen has been clear and pasteurized in the literal sense, made into pasture for farming animals. This end of things has it has been
left wild.
Yes, it has been left wild, and it has grown trees and mosses and shrubs. And if you recall, the kind of squarer blocks that are around the place, you know, they kind of built in amongst things, and it was quite nice. So you get up and you're kind of greeted with the view of the square boulders, things rising up, and some of these walls by this point are fairly steep. Like that. I'm just going to draw a few more of these in. And
I can't see what you're drawing, by the way.
Can you not see them at all?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I see nothing.
Oh, goody. Okay. I don't know how to deal with that then.
Yeah, now I see it. No, I don't.
Okay. Oh, great.
So I think it was when you initialized one world, it did something.
Oh yeah, no, they've gone for me as well. So let's try this.
Oh,
so you see that?
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Okay.
So you've got cubes, do you, of land that are now coming up out of the ground?
So I had. Give me 2 seconds.
Like I saw them there for a split second, and then they went. So that's our cave.
That's the tunnel that you're walking in, and then yeah, they were kind of squares of dirt around the place. Not squares of dirt, square rocks, and yeah, these were very, very geometric. You know,
these
light
are
weathering on them, basically.
These are Minecraft.
So the ones at this,
but they're massive scales, and they're just dotted around.
They're quite big. They are of differing scales. The ones up this side are quite steep, so they gain quite a bit of ground. And but over towards, let's draw a compass arrow on here so that you know that way is north. And that way is also uphill and quite steep, whereas the rest of this is fairly flat.
Cool.
And that's why these are all packed in quite tightly, because they are the walls of the valley, effectively, that are made of large blocks. And let's draw some greens in there. And the greens will be shrubbery.
Right.
Rubbery.
It's not very clear green, is it?
It's green enough.
There we go. Right. Okay. And as I say, it's kind of dotting with rain and things. Remember that you had to climb up here to get to the entrance of the cave that you're coming up and out of.
See.
If you recall that. And then with that, I'm going to do. What's this? Okay, cool. That's really good. All right.
And it's still raining.
Still raining.
Well, I suggest to the group that we stop in the entrance of the cave. Like literally, my next footstep will be out into the rain. Well, why don't we stop here and have our lunch before we head back down?
Can do.
Does it look as if there's any?
Passes.
Does it look like there's any clear skies on the horizon?
So the weather this morning was a kind of intermittent rain, and it came in as showers. But you've not been above ground long enough to know how long this has been going on. The sky, it's not dark. Like sometimes you get really dark rain cloud, but it's consistently grey.
Does the weather go hand in hand with the device? I ask. Young Mir Sander. Yeah.
Starla.
Stala.
Starla.
Sounds like a hooker.
Starla! Please, a stripper. Come on now.
She shakes her head. She says no, it doesn't. No, we couldn't control the weather, just the earth.
So we just got shit weather.
Well, then I guess we wait if you want to wait.
I'm going to get you to give one of those to somebody.
I think I gave my last one to Gex. We'll keep it nice and democratic. There you go, Sam.
Okay.
And Gav, because you're at the front there and you've suggested stopping, I'm going to get you to roll a speed defense roll, please.
Very average 10.
And then I'm going to remember that I don't have the stats up for the thing that's firing at you. 10's good enough, actually. An arrow comes out from here. It just flings out of, but from behind a rock. You haven't seen what's fired it, but it is a red-tipped arrow, and it came from far enough. A red flight.
Yep.
And it came from far enough that you were able to see it coming and dodge it. Everybody else is still at the entrance to the cave, but you were standing in the daylight, and so were fairly well lit. But it just kind of appeared out of the bush and shot out towards you.
Righty then.
More goats.
Shall I get initial rolls from everybody, if I may?
You shall.
You shall.
You may.
6.
9.
18.
Biggest dickus over here.
Let's see if I roll 5 18s this game. That's seriously weird dice last time.
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds more. So sorry, Gex, you rolled a 6.
Ja. Ja, klar.
Sam, you rolled
18.
Rolled a 9.
Okay, sure. And Starla's in the mix there as well. So that's fine. Sam, it will be your turn first then. So you're going to get a turn.
So, sorry, I missed the direction, Lou. Where did it Do I know where it came from?
You've seen an arrow fly at Gav, but because we'd have you, you're a
but
little bit
I
further
did.
back. You've seen an arrow fly towards the entrance to the mouth of the cave, but you haven't seen exactly where from. Gav hasn't seen what's fired it, but he's seen the direction as being from here.
Okay. I'm going to have my full-blown body man, security guard instinct come in and just kind of bundle her against the wall with me between her and where the arrow came from.
You're hiding behind her, in other words. Yeah.
Yes, no, the other way around. And I'll just stand looking, alert, spear in hand.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you've got your spear in your hand.
Saying, get down.
Remind me as well, Sam, did you take the instruction book from the cave? I think you did, didn't you?
I think we're going to destroy it. I think I have it,
Okay,
yes,
yeah,
but I think we're
that's
going to
what I mean, you've got
destroy
it,
it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was going to give you a particular detail on that, and maybe I'll do it after the fight. That's fine.
Yep.
Cool. So, yeah, you've been able to do it. You can see, like I say, you can see what's up and ahead of you, but with the rain coming through, that kind of slight darkness and murk that comes with that, with the verdance and things that seem even stronger green and actually unseasonably green, given that it's coming into winter and there's still quite a lot of leaf and foliage up and around here. Yeah, you can't see what has fired, but something has shot an arrow towards Gav there. That will then be Gav's turn.
I will. Yeah, draw my shield up in front of me, kind of crouch down and see if I can get just look out and see if I can spot anyone.
If you're looking, make me a perception roll, I guess. Yeah.
This I suck at. 6.
Yes.
What did you roll?
6.
A 6. Okay, so 2 seconds because I'm going to see exactly what we've got there. So you can see actually these things aren't that well hidden. No, you can't see where anything is other than you know, like I say, you get the sense that this is. You can see exactly where this thing would have fired from. You haven't seen anything move from there, but you can't spot anything else with a 6.
Yep. Fine. I'll just get back, get back.
Gex, that'll come to your turn.
I guess I'll just go to the mouth of the cave and I might just leap down. Can I leap down and take cover behind next to this rock?
So that's not much, but you can leap down there. I'm not going to make you roll, but that'll take your action because that'll be a move.
I'll just sort of leap down and get on that corner. Yeah. And
fine.
Prep for my cross. Well, I've got my crossbow out.
Yeah. Okay. You leap down with your crossbow in hand, and yeah. Take up a position there. Gav, you drew your shield, didn't you? You kind of hunkered behind your shield.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So it's fine. Tell you what, Gex, as you're leaping, can I get you to make a speed defense roll? And what we'll do is we'll build this as you're leaping, pretty much.
All right.
So you're moving, so I'm not going to make it harder for you.
An 8.
An 8's actually okay. These things aren't great shots.
Cool.
But 2 more arrows are going to come out. I'm going to color these the same as I did the other one.
You can just copy and paste.
Yeah, I could do. 2 more arrows. So one from up here. And another one from here. They are going to, as you step out of the cave, they're going to plink out at you and hit against the rocks, one to here and one to here. But you're moving quickly enough that they haven't really accounted for that, and they miss from you. Again, Gav, you get a good view of where they've come from, but you don't see anything moving, and they're hidden in amongst rocks and in behind plant life, so you can't really see anything there.
Yeah.
They are the same arrows that have been coming at you with the red flights. And then, tell you what, Gav, this guy's gonna shoot again. Can I get you to make a speed defense roll as well? Does your shield give you an asset on that?
As a proper solid one?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Does it give you a point of armor? Is that what it is, or?
I thought it was a speed defense asset.
Yeah, that's why I think the shield. The shield is a speed defense asset. A 1 isn't going to solve that for you, but I think a shield is a speed defense asset, isn't it?
I didn't think there was any extra stats for it. I was a little confused, but I know I have 1 armor from my light armor, and I have 1
Yeah,
armor because
from
of
your
my
focus.
focus.
Yeah, the shield is an asset on speed defense rolls.
Okay,
So
cool.
it's like having a skill in that. Regardless, with a 1, the arrow is going to come through, fire out of this bush here, and although you've been looking at it, it's almost like you've had your shield directly targeted onto it, and it flies right through, sticks into your shield, hits it, and then goes clean through and hits your arm.
Oof.
So that would do, what do these suckers do? They would do 3 points of damage, and obviously that's gone into your shield. You've got your armor points, so it's only going to do 1, but you'll take a point of might damage there.
Bastards.
What I am going to say as a result of having used that 1, I'm going to take away the that speed defense asset of your shield for a turn.
Okay.
Okay, for a round, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you stagger or whatever. Sam, having seen that, we'll go back round. It'll be your turn.
So that came out of the bushes, like right in front of him.
That came out of the bushes over here. So it's a little way off. Let's say this is a distance of
They're kind of coming out of the mists of the rain and just
That's
only
a long,
see them
that's
at
a
the last
long
minute.
range.
This is long range. So let's say from here to here is 50 meters.
Well,
But this game system's all arbitrary, isn't it? Like it's
distance is incredibly rough. So this is about the extent of what long range counts as.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell her to lie down flat because I'm assuming it's an incline going that way.
Yes, it is. It's gently inclined. So if she lays down, she'll be able to see the sky and some of these rocks, but not much else.
Yep, I'm going to tell her to lay down flat.
Slow ground.
And then I'm going to do some sort of run-up, jump, cowabunga thing, and try and land in this bush.
Try and land in that bush, which you'll remember was there from before when you climbed up. Can I get you to make some kind of acrobatics roll or something you can use speed for that?
Pretty sure you're going to land in the bush either way, but
yes.
See how badly you do. Yeah.
I'll ease it a bit.
Roll to see if it's a thorn bush or not.
17.
17. It goes exactly as you planned. So you're able to get up past Gav with the arrow in his arm, and make the dive down there. You feel the wet come on and hit your shoulders, but you clear down into it and land fairly deftly, pretty gently there. The bush, as you enter it, it should whip up around you, but being as you are partially out of phase, you manage to slip pretty neatly clean through a branch and aren't hurt at all.
It's just a branch going through me. Oh.
Well, yeah, briefly, and then you're through and you're at the other side. No scratches or anything like that.
Can I look around to see if I can see anything? Now that I've landed.
Make me a roll, kind of, and this will be as you were jumping, so to speak.
Yeah, like a
see if you could spot anything.
Yeah. 19.
19's pretty good, and in fact that's enough that I'm going to give you a minor effect. So again, you've got a clear sense of where things are likely to be hiding, and as you come up and you jump, you'll spot another one there hiding in behind the bush, and another guy here. Again, they have bows. With the 19, however, you will also spot another shape. Give me 2 seconds, because I'm going to give this one a different color.
These humanoids as well?
They are Marga that you spot.
Goddamn Trump
supporters. However, you'll spot something else that doesn't look like rock. It's not bush, and you can't quite see what up here. But you're not quite there at telling what that is. However, at the end of Sam's turn, we work out exactly what that is as a flash and a beam of red light comes out and across. Gav, can I get you to make a speed defense on that, please?
Uh-oh.
Yar.
Oh
3.
boy.
Yeah, cool. So with the arrow coming through your shield into your arm, this is, if nothing else, a distraction for you. You are not focusing on the rain, and this beam of red light comes clean through the rain, with a light zipping noise, and would do 4 points of damage, kind of bumping into your chest there.
Oof.
Is that minus the 2 armor?
So you can take the 2 off that. You've got your armor, and I'm not going to negate that.
Okay.
It stings, however. It does sting.
Would you say it burns?
It is hot. Yeah, it's a kind of hot sting. And that will be that turn. Who's this? This is Sam's. No, it's not. It's Gav's. After that is Gav's turn.
All right, I'm going to snap off the arrow and fucking bellow in pain, and then jump down after Arnold, and I'm going to spend some movement points to dash towards that. I'm assuming I saw the red beam.
Yeah, you've seen where that's come from, and oh, great.
So I'm gonna,
Oh, Jed,
Server's been, sorry, it's something's kicked me out. I don't know whether it's my net's gone down or what.
Oh, are you hosting as well?
I'm hosting.
Oh, okay.
connecting to this player. That's a new icon.
Will it remember the drawings?
Let's find out.
Yeah, it will. It saves every single move.
Okay, I'm going to just grab a beer. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
see,
going to grab a beer.
auto-save Numenera, yeah, there we go.
Oh, god damn it. Pretty gassy today.
So we got as far as moving your die off the table, Cap.
Got these weird things attached to my dice.
Yeah.
Pack of light tools. Explorers, back wide brim hat.
It's gone all weird. Look at the character sheets.
Yeah. Character sheets glitched out. They seem to have.
Yes.
I am returned.
Look at this stream, Jed. If they haven't on yours.
Yeah, basically sheets 1, 3, and 5 have all kind of swapped places.
What?
Some of them are normal. Like that. I'm just gonna
On that, Sam.
reconnect.
All looks good to me now. I've reconnected, although there is.
Yeah,
Someone's
okay. So
character
changed.
sheet is floating around.
Yeah, hang on. Let me leave and come back.
Oh,
No,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Everything's gone a little fucky.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I save and reload?
Maybe don't save.
Well, I can. If worst case, I can reload the start of the session. We haven't.
Is there a way to save what's on the middle square that you've drawn?
No.
I could. Give me 2 moments because I need to. Whatever it is.
We could screenshot it, send Jed the screenshot, and then he can just use that as the.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking. You can import the screenshot as a picture and put that in the square in the middle.
Okay.
Drag the dice and shit off it. Yeah. Leave the characters.
Oh.
Not our characters. I mean the player character, the NPCs.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Hands off. I'll take a screenshot and send it to him.
Okay.
But straight from above, yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna grab a drink. Back in a sec.
I think you should, Jed, be able to save that as something and just import that as a picture, and then I hope that works. Then the map, you have to redraw the map then. That's weird.
That's the menu.
I realise that the NPC tokens will be in that picture, but that's fine. You can just put them on top of there and we can move them around.
Just put extras through them when they die, or when they move.
Yep.
Right, take a look now, Gex.
It looks good. I was there. They were here. She was there.
Steam sessions failed with Sam. What does that mean?
It means Sam needs to get good.
Yeah, I
Character
guess.
sheet's still all fucked up.
Yeah, I think they've just glitched out.
That was just a read were so.
My
Oh yes,
character sheet is
are
fine. Oh,
really
wait,
fucked
no,
up.
it's got some weird numbers everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so-
Explorer, question marks.
Remember what your all your points are and stuff. We can just restart the
Yes.
whole thing, I guess.
Yeah. And then just import that picture.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. It's alright. It's alright.
Yes. Shit happens.
They do.
Poop, poopity boop, poopy doop doop poop, poopity poop, poop 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 poop, poopity poop.
Rumour mill's been churning that there's quite a high chance of the Spider-Man game coming to PC.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've certainly
You
been
had
talking
that.
about that shit.
Yeah.
I'd love to play because those games are allegedly brilliant.
Oh, they are. They're really good. Well, I played the first one through to finish. It was fucking epic. Apart the same year that Red Dead came out, and that beat it for my game of the year, like my personal. But it was up there for most of the year for me. Didn't play anything better than it for a long time. And I really am not a fan of Spider-Man, so that was good. I just hope that means they'll do Gran Turismo on PC. That'd be amazing.
Last of Us 1 PC remake.
Yeah, that was.
Master.
I think that will probably be the most likely one to go because of how
That is
popular it is.
One of the best games I've ever played.
I never finished it.
I played it on PC like 3 years ago, and it's still like, sorry, on PS3 like 3 or 4 years ago, and it's still one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. Like, that's the first
I always
Last of Us.
got to the.
Character sheets are still mangled. They're worse.
they
than
still?
one.
So this is on a reload without. Okay, shit.
In fact, I now have multiple
Oh.
texts on my
It's getting
ciphers.
worse.
Yeah.
No, it's actually getting
Okay,
worse.
let's reload tabletop because I wonder if it's my host or whatever.
Your one world, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
It sounds like multiple words now. Oh, I
I
clicked
always
tabletop.
I always got to the
Probably.
same bit on it, Gex, whether you meet like his mate in that like rundown town and there's all the
Tommy.
traps.
No, not
Yeah.
Tommy, that's his brother. It's Bill.
Yeah, Bill, that's it. And then I always played the little bit after that and then kind of just ran out of steam. I was like, boy, no.
Mm.
I don't know why. I think it's because you just get too much stuff and it becomes less hard when you get like the bow and everything. I was like, that's boring.
It's worth it for the story. This story's great. And then Last of Us 2 just kind of shits all over it. I watched an entire playthrough of that game, and oh boy.
Yeah, but you can play guitar.
Oh boy, you can play guitar. I've seen some great videos of people playing real tunes on the guitar in that game.
Playing Johnny Cash tunes and things, yeah.
Yeah. Because like you use the slidey thing on the PS4 controller to strum, but you can like hit individual strings, and then you've got like you use your sticks to do the chords, and you've got 2 different sets of chords, so you can really play like quite intricate stuff on it. And I can't help wonder how many dozens of development hours went into that.
Yes.
And crunch and horrible workplace conditions. Okay, my sheet is fine. Sam's sheet looks fine. Gav's looks fine. I have my edge.
Better.
I think we're alright.
Better, except for Jed is playing as me.
Yeah, well, I can sort that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's even kept my marked down hit points.
So this was a reload of the save. Yeah, I don't know what was causing that. My fault, I guess, but oh well.
Bad to do. Sorted.
Yep. I don't remember where we were in the. It was Gav's turn. Gav was jumping down there.
And using some movement.
And I was planning on moving as much as I can towards this area.
So, yeah, if you want to just go hell for leather, I'll get you over here, but I'll get you to make a roll for, basically a roll. Yeah, that's fine.
Hey!
They made me angry. They made me bleed.
He went so fast he smashes the rocks in front of no.
Yeah, so with this kind of hot blast coming in on your chest, have a think about a major effect you might want. If nothing else, I'll give you an option at the end of it. But if you want to do something specific,
I would like to draw the attention of as many of them as possible.
Yeah, that's easy. So the red beam kind of blasts off your chest, and you feel the hot sting against your skin in a way that you haven't in a long while. I mean, it's been a long time since something's hurt you properly, and you know, with your shield now bolted to your arm, you leap out into the rain. Things start splattering off your skin and off your fiber optics and off your leather carapace, and you leap down and run headlong into the rain. Roaring, I think, is a good way to describe it.
Yes.
Yeah, and as you are coming up here through the rocks, you start to you can you hit the grass and you squelch and you stamp on the wet grass. You can hear the movement, you can hear the sounds of these things in the bushes, and you catch a glimpse of a human face beneath a heavy canvas, broad-brimmed hat up here in the rocks.
Righty.
And that, I think, will be your turn. Let's go through to Gex. Would you like to take yours?
Sure thing, chicken wing. I'm just going to move forward a little bit. I'm going to shoot this motherfucker.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can. Having moved to respond to Brother Elias there, you can now see his back sticking out from.
Away. I'm gonna ease that.
Okay.
I didn't mean to roll it, but
well, you've if you ease it, you'll hit with that.
Okay, yeah, I did, yeah.
So that's fine. So that goes through. How much damage do you do with?
I think it's
your
4.
crossbow?
Yeah, 4.
I think it's 4 points. Yeah. So the arrow finds its mark and goes into the thigh of this creature, and you hear a. It is wearing clothing, but yeah, not an awful lot.
Cool.
These are perhaps human legs, but it's hard to tell because they are wearing trousers. With that, however, and exposing yourself, a couple of arrows are going to come your way. Can I get you to make 2 speed defense rolls, please, Gex?
Sure. 14?
14's fine. So an arrow from up here comes by. You see it coming. It claps on the rock just ahead of you, just above you. And another one from over here.
Feeling lucky. Not that lucky. 5.
So in dodging the one coming from over, another arrow from your blind side comes flying out through the rain. This one's in a good position and is going to catch you. That would do 3 points of damage. Are you wearing a point of armor?
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, it'll catch up in that. So you'll take 2 points of might damage.
Oh, that's all right. I can afford to take those.
Yeah. And you did 4 points to this guy who's wearing trousers. So I'm just making notes of that. Okay. And that will go through to the rest of them's turns. So can I get Gav to make 3 speed defense rolls now, please?
Okay.
The other 3 are going to shoot at you.
I'm going to ease all 3 of these.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Oh, hang on. I can't do that.
Only one.
No, only one. I will let you know tactically, only this guy is going to have a good shot on you. These other 2 are shooting down over large rocks towards you because this is quite a large boulder between you.
Okay, so I'll ease that. That's the first one, is it?
Yeah, he's the first. He's the first one, and that's absolutely fine.
And then
the
second one is 17.
Cool.
The third one is 10.
No, it's not. No, it's a 2. Okay.
2 more points damage.
Yeah. So yeah, the arrow will find you there. As the other 2 kind of bounce off of square-shaped rocks around you. Yeah. That's fine and good. That will go through their turns. Starla is going to shriek, and you'll hear her up there. And
now, I don't know if she would have turned it off, but the cipher I gave her would have lasted for 4 hours.
Yeah, she's still got that around her. Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
This kind of metallic casing around her skin.
It's only been minutes since we left that room, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have taken you, a minute or 2 to walk up the tunnel, less probably.
Okay.
So that will come back round to your turn, Sam. Yeah.
How far is it to move to there? Like, is that can I move there and then stab that dude?
No, that's I'll call that a short distance move, but that would take your action to move that far.
Okay. How about if I was to kind of sidestep here and then throw a spear at him?
I'll let you do that as immediate range, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll kind of sidestep over here and then fucking launch it.
He's going to be in a pretty decent position, so it's going to be a bit harder to hit him than it normally would be, but
okay.
The way that he's tucked in, and Gex is just hit him with a crossbow bolt. But yeah, you can make your spear chuck.
I'll use it.
Okay.
18.
That's great, and with a point of 18, that's actually quite good because all you can actually really see of this guy is his head and neck.
Yep.
And so that's what you hit.
Sweet.
And the spear comes through and goes clean into the side of his neck and just falls down. This kind of hairy, horned man.
One for Arnold, I'll say.
Down and splattered. Let's change his colour because he's wasted.
All right, I'm on 4 spears now. I'm gonna keep count of them.
Okay, cool. Gav, above you as you run forward, somebody you recognise from your morning leaps out up above the rock. In his hand, he is holding what could at first glance just be a block of steel, but is actually very obviously some complicated Numenera device. He leaps in his duster clean up onto the rock here, waves it and points it directly down at you. Can I get you to make a speed defense, please?
Boss fight.
1.
Oh my god, Gav's getting all the bad rolls.
Yeah, and
Can I
There is
spend a point of XP to allow him to reroll that?
no, Gav could if
Okay.
he wanted to, but intrusions are fun. It's up to him.
Yeah, no, we'll let it roll. See what
Yeah,
injury
fine,
looks like.
He stands, and there is a speed to this man's movement that I described him before as wiry and muscly, but he's moving like like he's on ice. He leaps up into the rain, clean up onto this rock, draws this, raises this thing and finds a sight. And there's a deliberation and smoothness to his movements that kind of connotes a real precise speed. And he finds the shot. Having rolled a 1, I'm going to negate your armor as the beam comes down and finds the top of your head. And so you're going to take a full 4 points of hot light damage against your forehead for
Now
amount of
you've
damage
made him
there,
angry.
as that slams into you.
Yeah.
This guy's getting headshots. With that there, that's the kind of stuff that I don't know. We'll see if you can break his legs in your next turn, which is now.
Oh, is it? Okay, great.
Yeah,
I'm going
yeah.
to
Break his legs.
yeah, from the charge up, well, I was sprinting across. I'm going to leap up onto the lower rock and
Yep.
using my shield, I'm going to punch the sharp edge across his knees and drop him.
Yeah, you're at the right height to do that. So you're at this level where his knees are just above the top of your head. So yeah, go for it. Make your attack roll.
I'll make an attack roll. I'm going to ease it.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's my lucky 13.
Yeah, that's great. He's not able to dodge that because he's pleased with his shot, but amazed that you are still moving.
So I have +1 damage type melee. Yeah, I think I'm doing 4 points of damage.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, and he's just wearing fairly light trousers. He's not armored on his legs there. It's a fairly decent roll, so that's quite a nasty. Thinking about this, being hit with the sharp edge of a door of a car, effectively, I think is what we said. Yeah, into his shins. It's not going to knock him down or anything like that on a 13, but that's going to hurt him.
Cool. That's me.
Cool. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, that's your turn. So that goes into Gex's turn.
Cool. How far can I move? Immediate.
For immediate range, yeah, that's probably about it.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot this guy.
Yeah, go for it. Make an attack.
That's not my dice.
Yeah.
You can use it if you want.
No, fuck that dice. It's lame.
Okay.
Okay, 3.
Should use the pink dice.
3 misses. I'll put that very simply.
Okay.
I like my
cool.
combat narration, but no, you miss with a 3 there, I'm
Miss.
afraid.
Flies wild. That is
But you've moved out of the way there, so you're in from this fellow who shot at you before, and the others are absorbed. This guy has seen Sam step out and throw his spear, and so he's going to knock an arrow and shoot at you, Sam.
Step out and throw my spear into somebody's face.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really cool. But I'll get a defense roll, please.
1.
Okay. So that's.
I'll let it ride.
Yeah, the arrow comes out and over and towards you, and you go to step back. You see it coming, and you would go to step back into this bush. But unlike the previous one, you don't phase into it so much as snag really badly, and this is a heavy distraction for you. The arrow comes clean through and hits you quite hard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say you'll take the damage, which from these guys would be 3 points, and you can't move on your next turn because you're tangled in a bush.
That's might, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's 3 points of might. You obviously, I think you've got a point of armor. I'm not sure.
Yes, so 2 points.
Yeah, so take 1 off. Yeah, 2 points of might. And you are tangled in a bush there. That will then be these 3 again are going to shoot at you, Gav.
Okay.
So I'll get a couple more defense rolls from you.
Is it 13?
13's fine. Yeah. 16. Yeah. Grand.
And a 9.
And a 9 makes it still. They are shooting more cautiously, and so they're hitting basically under your feet. They're aiming low because they don't want to hit Blue.
Okay.
His name's not Blue. Well, his name is Blue. The token isn't Blue. But it's Blue Lyrel. And that will go back up and around. So Sam, it would be your turn.
How much effort does it require to get out of this fucking bush?
So you can spend the turn breaking yourself out of it, or you can do something different. But I'm going to require you to spend an action untangling yourself or phasing out through it.
Yes.
Before you can move.
Either or, and then some movement. Flavor it as you like. Probably trying to phase myself out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just that moment of finding a bit of calm and remembering that this is what you do naturally, and letting it happen rather than panicking blindly as you've seen an arrow come and hit you.
Yep. And then I'm going to do the same as Gax has done and kind of just move this way for some cover.
Yeah, so you can get in next to that rock, and that's fine there. That's your turn. It is Lyrel's turn, and he's been hitting the shins with a shield, and so what he's going to do is he's going to leap over to here, and again there's a kind of he's very fast, this guy. That's what I'm trying to say here, and he's going to take another shot at you, Gav. So can I get you to make a roll there?
This one I'll ease.
Sure, yeah.
There's an 11.
That being eased.
Sorry,
no,
how do I ease that? I ease that with might,
you
or use it with...
take speed points. Speed points for a defense roll. But 11's still going to hit. He's quite violent, this guy. And so he gets a shot into you. This will count with your armor though, so that would be 4 points. You can have that.
Oh.
And again, you feel that hot sting. With the zipping noise, and the two of you over here see this beam of red light. It's very short over here, but yeah, he's shooting very precisely, and that'll come through to your turn, though, Gav.
Okay, I want to try get up to him and punch him with this shocker ring that I have, one of the ciphers that it was given to me.
What I'll do is I won't take your action to climb up, but I will get you to roll to see if it takes your action to climb up. How's that?
Okay, that's a speed roll.
Yeah, and that'll be fine to do it. So you're able to get up there, and with it being, despite it being wet, you can plant your hand firmly on top of this boulder, and swing your way up and come up to
Hadouken him.
Punch him in.
Yeah, swing your way up to face the guy very immediately, and you can make your attack.
Battle of the Greats up there.
Okay, I'm not.
In fact, tell you what, where's the token on that? You're at immediate range. I tell you what, no, if you're just going to use it,
not sure. I've got tons of XP. I'll roll.
Yeah, roll it. Yeah, but that's great. That's brilliant. So you're up there, and it's wet, especially. So you're up, and he's not used to people being quite so close to him. You've moved faster than he thought you could. And you get this moment of surprise in his eyes as your hand reaches out and strikes against his. What do you think? His ribcage?
Nuts.
Solar plex.
Yeah. Just punch in the gut and drop him in one.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, comes through, strikes him right, on the diaphragm, and there's this. You hear simultaneously the wind come out of his lungs and his mouth, and his whole body tense as this shocker ring discharges into him, and then you know, with the wet over his coat, just turns to steam, and there's a flash across his body. You're not quite sure if you see his skeleton very briefly there, and then he falls limp against you.
Good.
Keep date.
Is that the knockout thing? That red.
That's 8
So
points.
it's,
No,
8
this is the
points of
shocker
actual
one.
damage.
8 points of damage.
8 points of damage, and I gave you an extra 2 because it was raining, which you'd already done 4 points, but I'd statted the guy to have 10 points of health totally. So yeah, you've just fucked him up.
Nice.
Sweet. Is he dead or is he just unconscious? That's the question.
Up to you, Gav. What do you think there?
Unconscious.
He's
Would be my
incapacitated, that's for certain. Yeah,
So
and
we
you've
can
hit him.
stop him.
Yeah.
I kind of want
Finish
to
him.
wake up.
He is on the corner of a rock. Like,
Yeah.
And you
Wake
are
up
angry now, Gav.
We wake up surrounding, you know, a campfire with the leg of a goat being slowly spit roast over the top of it. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so he's down.
Yeah, fine. That will go round to Gex's turn.
all right, I'm gonna move up to this rock and then shoot this guy again.
Yeah, that'll be okay.
I'll
Go for it. Make
I'll
a shot.
ease this one.
Okay, cool.
It's a 7.
7 will hit. Yeah,
Cool. Another 4 points for him.
that's fine. And that comes through and hits him. Yeah, and again, yeah, these guys are. I'm not going to sit and describe each individual marker, but they are kind of the half man, half goat
Boys.
vibe in their own flavor and way. So that's fine. You've hit him for 4 points. He's got a little bit of armor on, and that's fine. Cool. And that will be their turn. So again, this one is actually going to move this time. So he's going to push out through here. Push out through the shrub and emerge. He's dropped his bow and is holding a very nasty looking sword. This guy is going to turn and shoot directly at you, Gex.
I'm a me. So I roll.
Yep, please.
It's a nerf.
9's
Nerf.
fine. Yeah. So yeah, he's shocked. He's a terrible shot.
A nerf is a nerf.
This guy here is going to shoot at you, Gav. Can I get a speed defense roll, please?
I'm going to use it.
Yep, sure. Yeah.
19.
19.
That's brilliant. And you're able to also stop him from hitting blue if you'd like, or I'll give you the choice as to whether he actually hits Lyrel or not.
No, I'll stop him from hitting Laurel. He has to face man justice, not goat justice.
Okay. That's a good out of context quote there. Yeah.
What is goat justice? Headbutted to death?
Just gets eaten. They eat everything.
Yeah.
They just stand on him till he dies.
The last one over here is going to take a shot at you, Sam, but I'll make it a bit harder for him. So, because you're in cover and he's at a good distance from you.
Roger. 10.
Yeah, and again, you see the arrow come up and curve, and you can easily dodge it.
Can I just let it go through me?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can prepare for it, and it hits you, but just hits air. Yes.
It like puts a hole in my clothes, but does nothing to me.
That's pretty good. And that would then be your turn, Sam.
Okay. So this guy here is still alive, yeah? This one.
This guy here is still alive but wounded. This one here is wielding a sword, and these two are still shooting at you.
Okay, I'm going to try and move like to the bushes.
Yeah.
And potentially into the bushes.
That'll take your action to move there, but that's fine. You can move that far.
Yeah. Okay. With the intention of getting close to this guy.
Yeah. If you can just be in here, because this is a cluster of rocks, and so it'll take you a bit of. If you want to try and move in there, I'd get a roll for you to move through the rocks.
Yeah.
Some kind of agility, something like that.
3.
Yeah, you can get in there and you can get in among the bush, but you're not going to be up over the rocks or anything. As it's a cluster of nice square boulders, and there's nothing for you to really put your feet on.
That's fine.
So after Sam's turn would have been Lyrell's, but he's not going to get a turn, so it's your turn, Gav.
Again, I'm gonna turn from Laurel. He's up higher than these guys.
He's on about the same height as these two. He's on about the same height as this one. This one is a bit lower.
Okay, well I'm gonna bound down onto this and up onto that, and basically just charge this guy.
Okay, sure. You can
shield rush him off the edge.
Yeah. If you want to use your special move, you can make the move and the attack.
Yes, we'll do that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I'll let you move that as a. I'll count that as a short distance. Why not?
So, do you want a spend of speed points?
Is that right? You spend speed points to use that special move?
Yeah. There's fighting moves, fleet of.
That's
foot,
the one I'm thinking of. Yes, which costs you
1
2
plus
speed
points.
It costs you 1 speed point. Then spend that and then make the attack roll.
And then yeet him.
And yeah, he's going off the edge basically with a solid 15.
15 will hit him. What kind of damage?
It's
how much damage
basically
do you
just I do 4 points of damage with a punch.
4 points. Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm thinking like the shield rush is just kind of flavor there anyway.
Yeah, so you've come through and you can get a really solid punch on him. 15's not going to push him off. You'd need a minor effect for that. But he's fully distracted because he's been aiming at Sam. No, this guy was aiming at you, but you've just moved much faster than he thought you could because you're a big fella, and you can get up and get a punch on the guy.
Yeah, up in his
Although
biz.
he's well embedded in the rock and shrubbery that he was shooting from there.
Shrubbery.
Gex.
So
again, this fella's still alive, but you've hit him. This one you have heard more than seen emerge with a sword.
Yeah, I'll just move here and fucking shoot this guy. Super close range.
Go for it.
Oh, 4.
But yeah, moving in amongst the bushes, you don't quite know how they've done it, but he's moving fast enough that you can't get a shot on him.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. And that would then be his turn, so he's going to run at you, and he's going to make a swing with his sword.
Okay. The might attack, is it?
It's a might attack, but you do a speed defense.
Oh, okay. What is that? 19? 19.
19's great. I'm trying to think if this is worth applying a minor effect to. Yeah, he's going to come around and he's going to bump against that. So what I would say is on your next turn, if you want to drop your crossbow and draw something short, something close combat, I'll let you do that and make the attack with no kind of penalty on that.
Cool.
For doing that because he's swung pretty badly. With that,
Tangled up in a branch.
These two are going to shoot at you again, Gav. So again, can I get speed defense rolls?
9.
9's fine. Yep. It only takes a 6 to beat these guys, so.
And a 14, so yeah.
14, yeah, cool. Yeah, so the arrows go wide. And this one, not having had time to draw a sword, is going to try and hit you with his, just punch you. Okay. So if you roll a 3, you'll beat him because he's going to do a bad job of attacking you.
18.
18, cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let you have a really minor effect. Like again, he's swung at you and you can disarm him or grab his wrist or something.
Yeah,
something very light.
Yeah, I'll grab his wrists to put him off balance. Okay.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, cool. Yeah, and that would go around to Sam's turn.
Okay, I'm going to try and push through this bush. I don't know if you want me to roll or anything on that, with the intention of a spear emerging from the bush into this guy's belly.
No, I'll let you go through. It's quite a close range, and you can kind of roll through it. You had a bit of time moving around in bushes now, so you're more familiar with doing that. Make the attack.
My intention is not for like a sudden, like violent attack. It's literally just to come out of the bush, spear straight in his belly. Very, gentle
Yeah.
kill.
And the
Like the
spear
bit
is
where the
good
guy
at that
gets,
sort of thing.
like the bit where the guy gets knifed in Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, nice and slow.
17, yeah.
Looking
17's
into
great.
his eyes as you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try and catch him by surprise.
And so you step through here. He's preoccupied shooting at this guy. Shot at Gex, didn't he? Having been
maybe.
wounded, he doesn't really know you're there. And yeah, you can just catch him, and your spear. You feel that slight bash as it goes between two ribs, and he gasps, and all the air rushes out of the hole you've just made that's in him, and he falls down dead.
That's 2.
I think you've got the body count so far, Sam. Nobody else has really killed anything.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Gav's
counting like a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You all killed some Sathosh, but
I'm enjoying spearing stuff. Just because usually spears are shit in the games.
and after Sam, that's
me.
Gav's turn. Yep.
Okay, so while he's off balance, I'm just going to basically stomp on him, breaking in step, and just drop him off the edge or something.
Go for it.
There's an 8. And
That's easy to do. You don't grab his wrist, so he's doing pretty badly.
cool,
You can
so
kick
it's
him there
another
and just
4 points of damage then.
yeah, and he will fall and hit hard ground and not really move after that.
And then if I can move, I don't know if I should move and fight or fight and move,
you can move in an immediate distance. So you
so
probably
I'm just
get
or at least moving towards that guy. If I don't have to be on top of him. I just want to, pressure and give the intent that, mate, you should be dropping that bow now.
I'd want you to go around. If you're going to make the beeline, I'd get you to make a jump.
I'll happily do that.
Yeah, sure. Shorter. Yeah.
12.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you can leap onto here and be next to this person. He'll get a turn in before your next turn, but again, he's still has his bow in his hand, and you've just pushed his mate off a ridge and leapt at him. So that'll be fine. That'll go to Gex's turn. Gex, this guy, again, you've seen him coming towards you. He's moved fairly quickly and then made an absolute cock-up of actually swinging a sword at you. So I was going to give you basically a free switch to a close combat weapon if you wanted to.
Yeah, I've got my whip. It's kind of useless, but I'm going to hit him with it.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, go for it. And that is a light weapon, so yeah. Cool. And I'll give you an extra point of damage for the 17.
Oh, thank you. So it's 3.
Yeah, cool. This person hadn't been hit yet, though, had they? So that's cool. Yes, you're able to get the strike of the whip there. Then that goes around to his turn, so he's going to make another attack against you. Can I get you to roll?
Ah, see. Oh, 16. Almost a 1.
16's fine. Yeah, brilliant. So again, he's distracted now by the whip, and you can't get the attack on you. This person here is going to try to attack you, Gav. But again, he's not doing a great job of it.
No, he isn't. 14.
Yeah, again, so he's going to turn and swing basically with the strong side of his bow. 14's not enough that I'm going to give you an effect, but he's going to firmly miss. With that, Sam does not have any living Margot around him, so we will just go right back around to your turn, Sam.
Yeah, I guess step out into the clear and launch this spear into the side of the one that Gex is fighting.
Yeah, please make the attack.
Yeah. I'm going to ease it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be exhausted by the end of this fight, I think. Oof.
That's a good job that you eased that, because that does hit with the 3.
Oh, okay.
Because you lower it, because like I say, you only needed a 6 to beat them, but you eased it. So that's, yeah. The spear will find its way to him. What damage does that do?
4, I think.
There's 4 points, and he'd already taken. Yeah, okay, so it's not enough to put him down quite. But you get the spear kind of in a decent chunk of flesh at his shoulder there. We'll cut to Gav. It'll be your turn.
Again, just go in with the shield, drop it down. Well, what's this guy? This is another goat man thing.
Another goatman. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We're just gonna break his bow arm in that case.
Yeah, you are.
19.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can come up and just break his arm. Yeah, and he drops the weapon, and he's going to take a bunch of damage there. And again, it's not enough to completely incapacitate him, but he's not going to be very good at making attacks. Cool. Gex, your turn.
Oh, me again. I guess I'll light attack this fool again.
Yeah, cool. And so you've got an asset on that with a light weapon.
Yep. 17.
17 is great, and I'll give you the extra point of damage. And you bring this up. The spear having kind of grazed against his shoulder, it rears back, and you're able to bring the whip up and whip it so that it perfectly takes out an eye.
Oof.
And this thing lets out, to call it an inhuman scream is rather tautologous, but genuinely, it's a proper kind of wail of deep core anguish as it instantly realizes what's happened. It feels the impact against its oculus and curls in a bloody bleat.
Like the scream that the woman has in Kill Bill when she gets her eye pulled out, the last one.
A fair bit like that, yeah.
Or the scream of Sadie in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when she gets smashed in the face with the can of dog food.
Oh yeah,
that's great. Yeah, this thing is out of the fight because you have fucking crippled it. There is one last thing, and this thing, hearing the shriek, is going to leap away from you, Gav. It is itself deeply wounded. I don't know if attacks of opportunity are a thing, but I'm going to be really cool and let you make one anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to throw my shield at his back as he tries to run.
Yeah, so it's going to try and leap off this wall, and it would make it, but go for the attack.
13.
Yeah, you'd get that, and it's not even like you have to throw it. It kind of turns, and you're able to catch it clean in the spine. And again, it jumps down, and it's going to just knock the thing off balance in a way that it's kind of going to land chest and then chin on the ground. Already having a broken arm, so there's no way that it can break its fall, and just splatter. Not splatter, but you know what I mean, kind of hit the ground nice and hard there again. Yeah. And so with that, you are left in the pattering rain around you, and the cold wind, and the drip of blood where there is blood, and wailing where there is wailing from this guy over here.
I'm going to go and
kind of sobbing.
I'm going to grab my spear from this dead body, and then walk over to this dead body, and then pull my spear out of it, and then put it back in it.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
I'm going to bend over this one, and using my shields to block the view of other people, I'm going to pull one of its eyeballs off out.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Because I'm going to drop that on the desk of the mayor when I tell him to get the fuck out of town.
Love it.
Or, whatever.
Yeah.
Once all the screaming has settled and everything is dead, I will call for the lady.
Stella!
Stella! Stella! It's safe now.
We should probably tie up like Lyrel or something.
Yeah.
Lyrel is, from what you recall, Gav, breathing, steaming lightly, and
yeah, relieve him of his weapon and
give it to me.
Make an attempt. I'm just kicking it aside. I don't really care where it goes. And
grab the weapon.
I'll make an attempt at him.
And can we try to understand the weapon? I don't want it. want to know about it.
I am
Yeah,
trained in understanding Numenera.
Yeah, together
you'll-
we'll try and work it out.
Y'all can make rolls. There's an option I can get one of you to make a roll with then 2 assets, or you can both make rolls.
Oh. That wasn't my roll.
Okay.
I will... Wait, 2 assets, what do you mean?
So I will make it 2 steps easier if you both want to sit and talk about it. It counts as you being specialized on this.
That's statistically better than each making a roll.
Yes, we'll do that.
Okay, I'll do that. Can I ease it?
You can also ease it by adding intellect edge if you'd like, yeah?
I will ease it with intellect edge.
Yep.
I will help you understand it.
10.
10's fine. Yeah, with all that, with all those benefits. I mean that accounts to a
That's
plus
on
9.
Yeah.
If you think of it that way. So what I'm
Yeah.
going to do is I'm just going to give you the card for it.
Oh.
And yes, Gex, you should totally have that because your whip is not doing anything.
Yes, Garbo.
Yeah.
Air artifact, Lyrel's beam emitter. I'll read it. Level 5.
Yep.
A wooden handle with metal body at right angles, including a pipe along the top. When gripped, a small hologram displays along the top, indicating the direction the pipe is pointed, a red dot sight. Activates by pressing a button near the holder's thumb. Fires a beam of red light out to long range, does 4 damage. Cool.
Very nice.
Anybody want
It is large enough it would be difficult to conceal. It's not a light weapon.
Okay, yeah.
But it's not going to require you 2 hands to use.
Cool.
Why would you want to hide something as
That being an artifact,
terrifying as that?
that's different than the ciphers we have, isn't
Yeah,
it?
so
That's not gonna
ciphers
die.
ciphers are single use. Artifacts I can tell you if they die, or that's not one that has a duration.
You can compel them to die, can you?
So the artifacts in the rulebook, they either have a what is it called? A duration condition, I think is what it's called, or like an expiry where you would roll every time you used it. And let's say you'd roll a d20, and if you roll a 1, it would die. Or the GM can say, okay, it breaks now.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. For
I'm
some
going to be
reason.
yeah, and I might do that as an intrusion, or as a condition of
For roll a 1.
But yeah, well, this is it. If I get a GM intrusion, and I might say, okay, actually, you've tried to shoot something at point blank range, and so the beam reflects.
Yeah.
Burns me nads off.
Cool.
And so it's not invincible. It's not a permanent thing, but it's not just a one shot like a cipher.
I'm going to get my rope out, tie this fucker up.
Oh yeah, I'm already on it. I'll hike him up over my shoulder, and I'll give him a quick pat down just to remove any knives or anything like that.
Quick pat down. So he has a large knife on his belt.
I'll just discard it into the fucking.
Nothing special about it, is it?
He has no. It's just a kind of Bowie knife.
Nice.
I'll just throw it away, or
Yeah.
somebody else can take it if they want it.
Yeah, I'll take it because I can always throw it at something.
He has 50 shins.
Yeah, I'll just add them to my account here.
So Sam, that counts as a medium weapon again. That you could throw it short distance.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, I can do
and
that.
then 3 ciphers in his pockets that are not in use.
Okay, well, I'll just hand them over to the guys that know things about the things.
Do you guys want to roll on them?
Yeah.
So you can make me 3 separate rolls.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let Gex go first.
Okay, so this is okay.
1.
Gex has used all his intellect up.
Yeah.
I'm going to ease with this, actually.
Wait a minute. Before you do that, off your 1, Gex, can I get you to roll me a d6, please?
Oh, yes.
Because what I'm going to do is you're going to break 1.
Okay, a 1.
Okay, cool. All right.
I'm going to ease for the other 2.
Yep.
17.
17's cool. Okay.
Anti-gravity spray. Metallic canister with a nozzle, a bright and busy mess of symbols and drawings is printed on the outside. A non-living object up to the size of 2 humans, when sprayed with the contents of the canister, becomes weightless and floats 1d20 feet in the air unless strapped down.
We're gonna have philosophical negotiations about whether a robot is non-living or not.
It is.
Sweet. Okay.
Sweet.
We say automaton around here.
Do I need to roll on another one?
For the last one, yeah. One of you give me a roll.
Oh, I'm just dicking around.
Okay.
Didn't ease it, but I rolled an 18.
Yeah, cool. All right, I'll give you the last one. That's the last one.
Metallic ring with a clear lens, slight red tint. When fitted, adheres to the face around the eye, allows the wearer to see in the dark for 2 hours.
Could be useful. Well, I got a lantern. I don't need it. Gav's got 2 lanterns. Fine, I'll take it. Unless you want it, Gav.
Nope.
You have space, don't you, Gav? So you should take the anti-gravity spray, and I'll keep mine too.
Sure.
I tried to sling it at you, but my game hung. Here you go.
My fault, is it?
No, I don't think so. Just hung.
Okay.
Question. I realised about halfway through this, before just as Gav reached Lyrel, I had the flame retardant wall. Would that have stopped the laser beam?
It's too late to find that out.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm gonna hike him up over his shoulder and get going. Well, I assume we were looking at these things while we were.
Yeah, so you've spent
On the
a
move or
minute
whatever.
tying him up and working out picking him up. The other two have spent a moment looking at those things, and Sam's worked out what they are pretty quickly. The ones that Gex didn't break.
Yeah.
Before we continue, I'm going to remind you. You had something about the book.
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to wait until you have it in your hands next.
Okay. Well, we were going to burn it, so
yeah.
I guess in our travels down to the town, I will be getting it out and considering destroying it.
Cool. Okay. Basically, it feels more solid in your hands than anything has in a long time.
Ooh.
That's all I'm going to tell you. Especially, there are kind of, like I said to you, there are kind of clear pages with things printed on them, but they are like a clear plastic, and those, you where most things you have to remember to hold, these things, you're not even sure you could pass through them if you tried.
Interesting. So it would have some sort of like intellectual worth for me to understand why, maybe.
Yeah, and you'll remember the kind of language that's used in it and the design of the UI it's described felt very intuitive to you.
Yeah. This is something phase related, maybe. As if the machine is altering phases to make changes to the land.
Or the book itself, at least.
Yeah, okay. Cool. I will study that. I won't destroy it at this point then.
Yeah.
Whether or not the others agree with me, I will just put it back in my bag.
Cool.
To study when the next transit phase of our game.
It's fine. Right, and I'm going to clear the table.
Oh.
You all can keep Lyrel. He's a sucker.
I got the woman.
Gav can have Lyrel. There you go. You're carrying him.
Fuck's that? Oh, it's an XP card. One Gex's tiny XPs. So what is that spec in my GM area?
There's also a floating map up here. Oh, there was. Now it just says type here.
Oh yeah, that's just one world.
The way
how
of
it
things.
handles the things. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, and so yeah, what would you like to do next? You're walking, but are you going to walk directly back into town then?
So?
Yeah.
Does she have anything to say about the murders that we just committed? I mean, the justice we just committed.
Justice we don't out.
Starla is at this point whimpering mostly,
Well,
and
You're safe now, love.
They're all dead.
Yeah.
And what about him? Is he dead?
No, he's gonna see justice. We've defeated him.
He's probably not dead. I hope he's not dead. I'm carrying him all this way for nothing then.
Indeed. Can I make an intellect roll to see if he is dead?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's a couple of basic checks you can do.
Basic checks. 3.
You're not sure. If he has a pulse, it's weak. But he doesn't feel cold, but that may be because he's been electrocuted.
Okay, yeah. Slightly
he
singed.
He may have been cooked.
Body
you're not
temperature's raised a couple of degrees, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he's dead. Let's take him down to what's his face? Thomas.
The
Sure.
rain as you come down towards the glen, as you leave the what was I saying, the eastern end of it, of that fork, and you get back towards the river and back towards the road, the rain does abate, and the squelching around your boots lets up as you put your feet back on fairly well draining, not quite paved road, but well established cambered road that drains there. It's going to be maybe another 40 minutes walk back to town, but you're back in a position of good visibility, of daylight kind of coming down upon you, and the wind is still up. It is still coming up against you, but you aren't going to be quite as uncomfortable for the rest of the walk back into town. I'm going to eat a bit of chocolate really quickly. I tell you what, actually, it's just after 9. I'm going to go and get a drink of water.
I'm going to get some
take
chocolate.
A break really quickly.
Ooh, I have 1 beer left. I'll be back.
Not for long.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we going to make her make the decision on the justice that is served on these people?
It's me.
Okay, we're rolling.
I'm rolling.
Would you like to know what the cipher you broke did?
No.
Maybe. Was it game breaking?
No.
Yes.
It was a machine control implant. So it was a 2-piece Numenera where you'd stick one on your forehead and one to any device, and you could control that device mentally to long range for 40 minutes.
Ooh. Well, could have been fun.
seconds more. Yeah, cool. Okay, and so we all there? Gav, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, I just hadn't heard you speak for a moment. That's fine. So the walk back into town, your feet are starting to dry. The heat of your bodies as you walk, especially as you carry, hopefully dozing or incapacitated but not quite dead sheriff of the town of Sanderglen, over your shoulders. It gently warms you. Kind of, you start to dry out from the shoulders and around the feet as you come back into town. And your walk along there, it comes closer and closer onto the town, and it being a grey day, odd lights are lit despite it being only early afternoon. There are places where the fires are clearly lit, and the smoke is the first thing you see pluming out over the town. And then you are not met, but you see somebody waiting ahead of you, and you very clearly see Lee, the canvas draped farmhand come deputy, who was the person that spoke to you. It's just the night before, out on the road with his forked spear that he was used for tending the cattle. And Lee stands, and he's looking back and forth across you, and very quickly you see him spot Starla and work out what's going on with you, and he drops his spear and starts running up and out towards you. He isn't looking at the three of you, but he is looking directly at Starla, who
Starla, did anyone else help this reprobate?
No, it's Lee. He's my friend.
Okay.
And she pushes out past you, and she comes, and there's this moment where the two of them look like they're going to hug, but they both stop a little bit short of each other and come upright and remember themselves and have an awkward little moment. And Lee doesn't even try to hide how happy he looks at seeing her.
I'll nudge Gav in the ribs like, hey up. Think they bang or something.
Very perceptive of you.
He is trained in perception.
Yes.
Excellent.
And then it's only at that point that Lee looks to both of you first and says, "What happened? You found her?" I can't remember what voice I was doing for him last time. Oh well.
We found her. No biggie.
And you've got Sheriff Lyrell. Is he all right? God's goodness! By the wind.
He ain't sheriff no more.
Is he dead?
He kidnapped Starla. He is responsible for all your woes. We have subdued him.
And he looks back with this kind of questioning, reproachful look back to her, and you see even from the back of her head, she's nodding. And Lee looks distraught very briefly, and then, same as he did before, remembers himself and straightens up and sets his jaw and falls in step with you and walks ahead of you.
I'm going to nudge her and say, "What about him for mayor? If you wanted to leave this place."
Yes, I wanted to leave. Yeah. Oh.
Is he trustworthy, man?
Lee's always been here. I've always been here. I don't know.
Think on it.
Yes, I need to think. And you'll remember the end of town that you're approaching. Among the first buildings that you're going to come to are the Sanders House and also the Aeon Chapel. Is there a particular route you'd like to take into town, or is there a particular destination that you'll have in mind there?
Straight to Tomas's office, I think.
Straight
You wanna
down,
go straight to-
down the main street,
Yeah,
Yeah.
dragging this guy with us, right?
Like a
over-
classic
right up to
Western.
the town hall.
exactly. He's got to be displayed.
Yeah,
So,
we'll,
Yeah.
we'll throw
Like
him
if-
on the ground right outside the town hall.
Screaming
Yeah.
Tomas's name, and I'll walk around and watch the back so we can't run away.
That's all fine with the kind of brief moment that as you pass through, other farmhands, other people will gather behind you. Other people in this kind of heavy canvas that Lee is wearing, that the people that accosted you the night before were wearing, seem to come out of their houses or cluster around you. And yeah, as I say, kind of by the time you get to the town square, there's a small crowd trailing behind you.
A mob.
Starla doesn't stop to go into her house. A posse, maybe, is the word.
Okay.
Starla doesn't stop to go into her house. She keeps up with you. And yeah, in a moment or two, you are outside the town square. I didn't mention when you tossed Lyrell's pockets, there was also a bundle of keys. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't tell you that, but I feel like it's important to get out of the way now. although it's not
Presumably we
particularly-
have them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, you've taken. Yeah. So you got 50 shins. You got those ciphers. You got the beam emitter, and you got a bundle of keys. And you're screaming Tomas's name, or calling for him.
Yeah, calling them out.
And there's chatter, and there's what's going on, you know, among the crowd behind you. There are lights on in the roadhouse, but nobody's in there, and the locals aren't even in there. There are no guests. But there are lights on inside and upstairs.
Well, is he not coming down?
Guess we're gonna have to go in.
Will he not face this like a man? Or, like a person of honor?
If you're saying that out loud, Lee will turn around and say, Tomas doesn't leave his office. What do you need of him? What's happened? What's he got to do with this?
Oh,
You said Lyrell did it.
In time.
he
will find out.
he paid us to solve this, so we need to see him to get our payment.
Well, then let's go in, and Lee's going to go ahead and open up the door for the roadhouse. He'll know you're coming.
Okay, let him go ahead, but I'm going to lean to our muscly bald man and so should we drag him out? Is this a public affair?
Well, I think so, but I think doesn't everyone have to understand what's happened? I think that's more important than seeing. Well, they can decide what happens afterwards.
Facts should be laid on the table in front of everyone. And it's for the good lady to decide the course of justice as the real mayor, I suppose.
Either way, we need to go in and grab this guy, so let's just get to stepping.
Yes.
I'm sure you guys can handle him. I'm exhausted, and I'm gonna kind of lump him. Well, I'll just sit by the body of Lyrell and just kind of get my breath back because I'm, down to fucking 4 out of 15 health.
I want to.
You've done a bunch of recovery rolls as well already, so you're not going to be able to make them quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to stomp up to Tomas's office and shoot the lock off with Lyrell's pistol.
Yeah, fine. That's pretty cool. So Lucy's at the bar, same as she was this morning when you left, and she says, "Oh, you're back. Oh, that's good. That's Starla doesn't go in behind you. She stays out into the street and starts talking to the people. So we'll talk to her first, and then I'll let you guys go in there.
Okay.
Gav, because you sat out on the porch of the roadhouse with Lyrell's kind of form with Lyrell, and she's standing among people. She's not kind of addressing them all at once. She's kind of moving through people and saying, you know, you can hear words like, yeah, he took me in the night. The hills out east. You know, yeah. No. It's all being. Everything's going to be okay. You know, and there's a clamor and there's noise, so it's hard to make out fully what she's saying. But she's trying to tell people what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Once that kind of starts to go around, I just want to make sure that when the time comes, basically, we're tying Goatman to the goat people. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I don't want her to leave that side of it out, even though I think she's probably going to. Not intentionally, but I don't know if she believes he's involved. Thomas, that is.
So she doesn't seem to have put two and two together there, or to have reached that conclusion. But she's telling people what happened rather than what's speculated, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
She hasn't.
You know, that's fine. It's once he comes down, we can do the rest.
She's being kind of swamped. She's being kind of swamped by people, so she's doing as much as she can to reassure people that she's not hurt. Is most of it, and then they're saying, "Oh, well, who are these people, and what's Lyrell? You know, is Lyrell all right?" And the same questions that Lee asked her really are the ones that are going around. Sam and Gex, you fellas head inside.
Yes.
Elias, no, not Elias. Hector and Arnold head inside, and again, Lucy's there, but she's the only person, and you climb the steps. Yep.
Yep. So before Gex shoots the lock off, I want him to shoot the lock off, and I'm going to burst through the door and slam Lyrell's knight into the desk.
Okay.
And go,
cool.
You have some things to answer for.
You walk down along the corridor, and the corridor again, it's not even creaky. It's like your footsteps thud more than you're used to as you walk along the
jack boots are coming.
Walk along it all. Yeah. Your footsteps are loud. The rooms as you walk along are unlit. You know, but the hallway itself feels warm. The smell of smoke from Thomas's office is is not potent, but you can smell it there. You get to the room, and Gex, you're gonna draw on fire.
Oh yeah.
And this is the first time you've done it, and the fluidity of the motion is pleasant. The grip of the wood in your hand feels hefty but very well balanced. It makes it very easy to point the pipe end of the emitter wherever you'd like there. As well as that, it seems to know that it's being held. It seems to know that your arm has come unlocked, and this little yellow kind of square with a few dots in it pops up there, and you can pretty easily tell that this is to do with pointing. Your thumb has found a button, a little stud. You press that down, you feel the very slightest of rumble in your hand as the familiar now red beam and zip noise emits from the pipe in front of you and goes clean through the mechanical apparatus of the door.
Lovely.
You hear for the first time, because you haven't heard any noise coming through the door, but there is suddenly an ah!
Yes, well.
And Sam, you're gonna burst through.
Yes, indeed.
And you march into the room, and the room is more or less as you remembered it. Like Thomas is at his desk, his papers spread in front of him. There is ink on the papers that wasn't there before, but otherwise things kind of seem well laid out. The fire is crackling, and this man with the yellow slit, the yellow eye with the black slit for his right eye, his hair slicked back. He looks stressed and panicked. This has got him past, but he's stroking at his hair and trying to regain control of the situation. He stammers, seeing you marching. Well, gentlemen, the rest of the money remains for you. You are here to collect your payment and retrieve your belongings, are you not? But it's as he carries on speaking, you don't give him really chance to speak, that you step forward, draw the Bowie knife from the new sheath on your belt, and plunge it into the central piece of paper on his desk. You'll notice at that last moment that there is writing going on the paper, appearing that he isn't doing, that words are still appearing. But you can't quite make out what they are.
Interesting. Yeah, well, I'm going to slam it down and say you have questions that require answers. Your mayor is awaiting you, and your town at the bottom of the stairs.
You have located Lady Sanders. Oh, by praises to the years and the ages. I would. I am aware that she has returned safely, and you are more than welcome to please invite her to my office. I will have much to discuss with her.
No, you need to come with us, bro.
A gentleman, please. I have not left my office in some time, I must say.
Well,
you are strangers here, so you may not understand our customs, but this is it is from here that I observe the town and take care of my own business.
Well, we'll call this setting a new precedent.
Times are changing, old man.
And he looks very frightened in his chair. But he takes one last attempt at picking up what's clearly a bag of coin and says, "Please, your shins, your possessions await you in your rooms. I implore you, gentlemen, leave me to my business."
Think.
I'm sure Ms. Sanders will inform me of what befell her.
I believe there is still questions to be answered, and if the questions are satisfied, maybe you will return to your office safely. But for now, you must come downstairs and answer some questions.
What may I help you with? I have much knowledge here.
I'm gonna punch him in the jaw.
Okay, you're reaching over the desk. I will make you a roll just to see how hard you hit him.
I'm sucking him in the mouth. That's a 14.
Yeah, and he braces back in his chair, and looks suddenly stunned and is gaping and blinking at you.
You need to
come on, don't make us any harder. Boy.
Fine, gentlemen, I cannot. Please.
Why can you not leave this room?
Just fucking drag him down.
It's fair cop.
Does he answer the question of why?
He's kind of looking agape and aghast and a bit stunned at being socked in the face.
Okay. Devoid of any serious answer, yes, we will start leading him out.
Yeah.
So you're going to walk around your desk and grab him by the shoulders?
Yeah, just grab him
by the scruff of the neck.
Not too, I'm not trying to hurt the bloke, but he's got to come out.
It is at this point, walking around the desk, that you notice that he has no legs below the knees.
Oh.
Let's make him lighter.
They've been... Yeah, well, sure, yeah. So you'd be able to, between you, pick him up.
Sweet. You just punched a disabled guy. Yeah.
No regrets.
Yeah. Yeah. Storm to a man's office, demand that he walk.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're able to pick him up over your shoulders, with a neck in each armpit.
Is he in a wheelie chair?
No. Well, he's on like an office chair,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll just fucking carry him down there.
Yeah, and I'd lift him up and carry him out of his room. Hearing you and then seeing you coming, Lucy is at the bottom of the stairs, and she looks, seeing this happen, she looks aghast, and then she looks back out to the door, and she runs out of the tavern of the Roadhouse.
Okay, bye, Lucy.
Peace, bitch.
And Gex, Gav, sorry, you will see her, Lucy, the barmaid, run out first of all, and join the throng. And try and find out what the fuck is going on, because she's
as we start to emerge towards the door, I will ask Gav to find a chair for us to put him in.
I will get up off the step of the porch and point to where I was sitting.
Okay, we'll put him there.
And there's a post you up against this man with no lower legs.
Yeah. Cool.
And he coming out into the daylight. He is the guy is blinking. His lip is starting to bleed now. His yellowed eye is not quite spinning but moving like crazy, as both his eyes are, and he's you can feel his heartbeat against his ribs. Whoever's holding him on the left side there, he's clearly panicking. And when he says he hasn't left his room in a long time, this is a mark of a man who does not like being in the outside world. People, upon seeing Thomas, are reacting similarly. They are themselves surprised. This is an event that nobody expected.
Cool.
But Starla holds it together pretty well. The metal casing that you wrapped her in earlier, Gav, is still there, and she has a kind of gleam, having wetted and then dried, and is now catching what daylight there is. She steps forward like some, I don't know, some kind of warrior queen at this time, and there's a straightness and an uprightness to her you haven't really noticed at this point. It's
And
like
some
she's
balls.
turned, it's like she's turned on mayor mode.
Yeah.
As this happens and the eyes of the crowd start to draw towards her, I'm going to stand up and go into the kitchen.
Okay, sure.
And
Yeah.
get our box, open it, check it. If it's still there.
It's you stowed it in there, and it's there. It is untouched. It's fine.
Um,
And the other things that you stowed there were okay.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna stick them underneath my arm and grab my pack, and then just rejoin the crowd a minute later. Like,
yeah, sure, yeah, that's fine. Lyrel is still firmly unconscious. Thomas being down on the ground, in amongst the dirt, is looking up at Starla, and his hands come together and are, fingers clutched around each other, shaking and pleading up at her. This is not the confident, savvy businessman that you fellas met the day before.
Oh, he's a bit of a weasel. He's a bit of a worm tongue, really, isn't he?
Starla, Miss Sanders, your safety is my great pleasure. I did everything I could to make certain you were safe. I have hired these travelers. I thought that they would do what I hired them to do.
Oh.
And she doesn't say anything, but she looks down at him with this strong sight of contempt. And then she turns back to the people of Sander Glen. And they are all looking at her, just as you catch yourself waiting to see what she decides. And she looks back one more time down to Thomas and slaps him clean across the face, knocking him down into the dirt. He's off the step. He's over. And she looks around and says, without the Sand family, there is no Sander Glen. We built this town. We built this valley itself. We hewed the rocks and split them from one another. My forebear created the earth that we stand on itself. You
Put
cannot
my
take
finger
it
up
from
and
me.
go, I could attest for that.
You cannot take it from me, and I will not leave it. This is my home. You are all welcome to live here, but you work for me.
Ah, full fascism.
Well,
I can do it.
Well, you know. Arnold's no Democrat. Continue.
Wait, no, I hate fascists. Shit.
yeah. So, Gex, if you want to rise up and throw her into an airplane engine, you're welcome
Nah,
to
nah, it's all right. It's all right. Seems inconvenient. I want to hear what she says. Gotta say.
And she walks just a few steps kind of up and down, and this is a level of kind of narrative trail or oratory rhetoric, maybe that's the word I'm looking for, kind of rhetoric training that, you know, she's establishing her posture and herself in front of the crowd, and she starts to relate the events of the past few days. She talks about the night that Blue Lyrell, the acting mayor's dog, the town's so-called sheriff, the arm of the law and erstwhile protector, entered her house, armed not only with his own, well, signature killing thing, but arrows taken from those who would try to claim this land as their own, the pretenders to it. Tools and weapons taken from them under compact. He slew my household staff, bound me, and carried me to their home, to their underground chamber. I've learnt more about our neighbours. And there's this moment that, you know, she pauses as though she's really choosing the word there. I've learnt more about our neighbours in the last day than I have in the rest of my life, and yet I would seek to be no closer to them. Sander Glen belongs to the Sander family. It cannot be taken from me, no matter how hard any of you try. But this will be a new Sander Glen. Wheels have begun to wheels that turned in the darkness will cease, work will continue, and summer will return. Traitors, those who would seek to place their own wealth before the well-being of all this community, before tradition and our very name, will not be tolerated here.
Yeah, when she says traitors, that's when I'm gonna throw the eye into like the center, not like into the crowd, but on the ground in front of some people.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and there's this hush, kind of and people are clearly seeing that and looking at Thomas, and then looking back again. And for some people, it's like they kind of knew but didn't want to say it. It's this moment when you have an open secret really exposed, and everybody's a bit embarrassed to admit that they knew about it.
Is this the bit where Grouse is at the back and you just hear, "I fucking knew it"?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even that. I told you about him. I told you.
Yeah.
and everybody's got this. Well, it's just about time somebody did something. Oh yeah, well we all
yeah, everyone's agreeing.
Well, I would have. Yeah, should have known. Should have done something. And there was this murmur and this ripple through the crowd. And Starla turns back to you all, the three of you, and says, "Gentlemen, your assistance today has been greatly received, and you are free and welcome to leave Sander Glen and pass through in future as you like. You have the run of the valley without tithe or tribute or need to pay for passage.
Free rooms
Your
in
amount
the
shall be."
Cool.
What payment was promised to you by Thomas you may take.
Sweet.
Arnold, do you want to see to that? Kind of motioning, head nodding towards his office.
Yep, I'll go do it. In agreement.
So did he promise you 250 each?
I'll take
Yeah.
whatever's there.
Seems legit.
Yeah. Tell you what, Sam, give me 2 seconds.
He had a safe.
Yes, I will take whatever is there. She doesn't know what was promised. I will just take everything.
Yeah, so you promised us 1,000 each.
Yeah. Whatever's there, Jed, I'm taking it.
And we'll take the rest through tax tribute from your town. Yeah.
And also, with the note of noticing the writing that was being written, I will want to read it when I'm in there. Just to see if there's some sort of higher power sending you messages.
There's a fucking ton of shins in this safe. So totally, I've just rolled some dice and worked out that you're going to find a total of 2,120 shins.
Brilliant, sweet.
Zoinks.
Oh,
20.
Yeah, leave the 20. That makes it easier.
Yeah.
700 each.
Yeah, just add it to sheets as if I've come and given it to you after.
Done.
The sheets on the paper seem to be reports of what is going on around town.
Mm-hmm.
So actually the conversation as it is happening outside is being scripted in small letters out there, and there's a kind of log of the last 5 minutes on the sheet, and it is scrolling or being erased as it goes and as it wears out. And there are different places around town. This guy has some kind of bugs or surveillance system or something like that, and you're not quite. You'd have to spend quite a bit of time to work out the sources for it and exactly how it works.
I don't want to do that, but when I come out to speak to the guys, I will whisper in her ear that exists, and inform her. Whether or not she uses that to oppress the masses, who knows? But she's aware of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
And as a last note, I will say, if you require any counsel on deciding courses of justice or laws, please feel free to write me. And give her an address.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can give her. And definitely give her an address there, and say. And she'll say. You'd have told her, I think, about Archibald when you were walking in. Let's say she will have asked about it, and so she will ask somebody to bring your cart and your Anine out towards you. And there's a couple of minutes, and it does come back out, and you can see Archibald. Archibald looks to have been well fed, and
less skittish, hopefully. Less skittish than of recent times.
Yeah, he's pretty chill. He's been well taken care of as far as you can tell, or at least looks to be unharmed, and your cart comes there.
Sweet.
And having discovered the table writing, I'm going to give you another point of XP. I'm going to give you one of Gex's tiny ones, just because that's on top of my pile.
Tiny is in my hand.
And tell you what, you did pretty well on the rolls there earlier with the Numenera Session. I'm going to give you one as well for discovery
cheers, bro.
there. And Gav, I'm trying to find an excuse to give you one, but I gave you a good intrusion earlier.
I've got loads.
Yeah. Spend some. Second more. Yeah, okay. So that'll be, yeah. She's kind of talking you through it and wishing you well on the road and on your passage. Is there anything else you would like to do in town?
Maybe just go back into the bar, grab a
Hell
cold
outta
brew,
here.
and then come sit myself in the cart and pop the brew. Sit down and drink a beer as we leave.
Yeah, I'm just gonna curl up in the back of that fucking cart and sleep while the guys ride. I'll have to carry in that fucker back all the way back from the mountains, and
Yeah.
What are we?
I'm also pretty shattered.
Are we just leaving them to the town justice then? Like leaving Blue Lyrell to the town justice? Be like, yeah.
Well, that's your option. You can stay and you can arbitrate and pontificate, or you can.
I'll ask her before
on the
we
road.
go. What does she intend to do with them? You know.
They will.
Ask her.
They will face.
Yeah, sorry, I was gonna say ask her out in public, like so.
Yeah. Yes, that's kind of the thing. I'm not taking her off to say it. I'm just going to say, what will you do with them before we mount up?
They will face judgment, and unless a case can be made against it, they will face exile.
Okay.
Exile for murder.
Yeah, I feel like you could probably make it give an execution to Blue Lyrell, maybe.
Exile in these parts, it's not much better. And you can tell there's a kind of a way that she says it that's that maybe they do exile in a rather special way.
Yeah, like that's why he has no legs, because he's been exiled from somewhere else.
Well, once he doesn't fall in with the Nalgana and end up coming back for you, I'd make sure he walks south opposed to north.
If I were you, I'd take him out the back of the gardening shed and fucking fork him, but there you go.
All right, well, we've delayed long enough, gentlemen. I think it's time us and Archibald get back on the road.
Yeah, be on the way.
Indeed.
Could also do with a 10-hour rest, but I ain't arguing.
Yeah. Well, let's leave and then sleep somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering I just emptied that guy's office out, I don't really want to stick around.
Just fucking tossed it.
Very lawful.
Yeah. Fuck it.
You were told to take what you were owed.
Yeah, well, what we owed? Fucking shitloads of money for our inconvenience.
Yeah. Hey, now you're getting it.
I said I know the laws and regulations of the land. I didn't say it was lawful.
Fair.
Inconvenience is enshrined in law, to be fair.
Yes, it is. It's true. Obstructing the course of justice, that's punishable. Prisonable offence.
Yeah.
So you're able to get back out on the road, and Archibald makes pretty good pace, having had a good solid rest. And within a few hours, you're able to come towards the eastern end of Sanderglen, following the road along. And it is getting into evening now, but sure enough, another inn is waiting just where the foothills, and if the road had followed exactly whereas it would as you would have expected to do, you would have gone from the lowland inn through to the fuck is it called through to the Fletcher's Arms, which is the next inn along the glen there. And this is you just get a glimpse just as you're coming through. You see your first bit of traffic that you have done in a couple of days. You know, this is proof that other people do use this road, although less so. There is a small merchant caravan, 3 carts, covered carts, led again by a Neen, coming in the opposite direction. And they are leaving the Fletcher's Arms, heading up towards and on the road into Sanderglen. And they lift their heads and they nod to you as you come through, and you can do the same back. And make it on through there. With the time of day, it's probably a good idea to stay in this inn, unless you want to carry on into the night. And then, if the terrain stays as you expect it to, you'll be able to make good progress into Iron in the morning.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, I think we rest tonight in the inn.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Can I, when we approach, go and talk to the proprietor with 100 shins in my hand, asking for a discreet room and not to be bothered?
You could probably do 50.
Why don't 50, we look? I picked 50 off Lyrell's body when I patted him down. Why don't we just spend the 50 buying people drinks all evening in the bar and just making
you'd
sure
expect that would do it, yeah.
Like we got the weight of numbers on our side, and buy the barman a few drinks as well, or the proprietor, and tip well. You know, blow it all. Look, smiled on us today.
Yeah, I like the idea of that, and then
Let's go.
Then have a proper night's sleep and get up. You know, not early in the morning, but maybe like 8 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark the 50 off my sheet.
Yeah.
Make some friends.
And this is a road tavern like any other. It has a stable, and you're able to get Archibald kind of well and easily stabled. You're able to book a room without too much difficulty there. Are you actively asking for something private or just a regular room?
With a safe?
It's unlikely to. Well, maybe, I don't know.
We've a safe in the cellar.
Nah, we'll just sit on it like usual, I suppose.
Yeah, a room that we can all share, maybe.
Yeah, give us a big room.
You can use 3 of a 4-bedroom, and I'll yeah.
We put the Anine on the 4th bed. Let's not do that. Let's not.
No, they won't fit.
Let's go to the loo back in a sec. But yeah, just continue on. Like,
well, we'll wrap it up in a second if you want. Because I don't want to go into another stage, but that's okay. But the tavern is warm. It's comfortable. You're able to get some decent kind of meaty slop to eat, and some ales, and kind of have a fairly normal night. The Fletcher's Arms itself is kind of notable for a couple of things. One is that the decoration has a weird collection. You know, has a weird kind of a vibrant pimento red motif. Were you not aware that pimento finches were fairly common in this valley? You would get that impression from coming this way. There are hunting scenes painted on the walls of people catching these things. There are like you go into country pubs and they'll have farming equipment tied onto the walls. This one has woodworking, and it has bowyer's equipment, some planes and things like that, and then it has arrows, decorative arrows and decorative bows, hugely ornate bows, kind of as a motif on the walls, and things tied on there, things mounted in that way. But the beer is fairly tasty. There is music playing, and you can't quite work out where from. Something is playing a stringed instrument, but you can't quite place it, and the tune is hard to follow, but it's not unpleasant. It's the sort of thing that even if you wanted to get it stuck in your head, you'd have a really hard job.
Yeah, it's background
Do you
music.
know, if you know what I mean? Yeah, kind of the opposite of a memorable tune. Yeah, but it's it's fine, and you can have an all right night. Spending the 50 shins will get you a room, it will get you meals, it will get you a good complement of drinks, and be able to ingratiate yourself fairly well without drawing too much attention. People are aware that Sanderglen itself has a way of being expensive or stressful going through, and I think a few people, people will ask you about your passage through there. With this kind of, oh, you made it through all right then. Did they make you stay?
What?
I reckon we just
So-
tell them the story.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is it. Is that things start off as small talk, and just as Sanderglen being this kind of inconvenient bit that you have to go through, and they make you stay at Thomas's more or less, because everybody actually wants to get through to the lowland or to stop there. But you come up with this story, and by the time you've finished, you only really need to tell it once because you started catching ears all through it. And after a few moments, when you get to the end and you say, and now, yeah, and then we got back on the Anine and we rode through to here. There's a couple of moments where nobody speaks, and then they say, so do they make you stay at Thomas's now? At the Roadhouse?
Don't know if Thomas is still breathing. We left he was, but they were talking about exile. He ain't gonna be walking far with no legs.
Well, cheers to that.
Yay!
Yeah.
Hey.
And there's a raising of drinks, and you can tell people that are almost all the clientele are travelers in one way or another. People aren't local, because the locals would be in the Glen in their own place.
So they would have experienced similar bullshit going through that place. So.
Yeah, just that kind of small town inconvenience and everyone being a bit desperate. And it's like the opposite of, how the stories about Las Vegas popping up because it was a popular truck stop for soldiers. And this is the opposite. It is the kind of place that makes you stop and spend money when you really don't want to. So it's a shakedown.
No, not anymore. It's not.
Yeah. Wonder what'll happen to it.
Well, you ask me, I'd say the mayor will just take over the running of that inn. It'll be a shakedown, just... You might want to get through it in the next couple of weeks.
Sure. All right, fine. Well, yeah. Cheers once again. Should we have another round?
Oh, aye.
Wonderful idea.
And someone else pitches into a story about bringing things up, and again, a few people are moving boxes of sand. They're kind of carrying expensive dirt and sand up north, and they've come through Iron, and so he's talking about the difficulty he had finding a river crossing. Because there was some really bad weather, and he missed one of the last ferries, and so he had to camp out, and that was a real ordeal. And so there's just another traveler's story that follows through, and the night passes comfortably.
So we could get a nice point to reset.
Yeah. So, would you guys like to make your recovery rolls?
So, what is this again? It's a D6 plus our tier.
It's a D6 plus your tier. That's right, per roll.
So I can do 3 rolls because I've got 3 X's. No, sorry, I do.
No, you can make one roll and then they reset.
Okay.
Alright,
So-
mine have reset.
Yep.
13. 1, 2.
There's
10.
a 7.
So, and again, so Gav, you can, if you want, you can go loop all the way back around. So you can spend your 1 action and your 10-minute right now.
Ooh, I want to spend my 1 action at least.
I'm going to stay like that. I'm only 1 off of intellect 4. I'm still slightly mentally fatigued
3.
after drinking too much beer.
And you know the trauma and the violence.
Nah, that doesn't bother me.
Oh, I don't want to do another one.
Now, I'm spending all 3 again. So I'm going to,
We're getting up late, so
I'll do the other
uh,
10 minutes.
take an hour over breakfast.
Right,
Yeah.
that's 5.
Shit.
1, 2,
Yeah, I won't be
3.
recovered till tomorrow. So I still got
Four.
I've probably bandaged up those arrow fucking
Yeah.
cuts, and that laser burn to my fucking thick skull is still
Yeah.
still itching,
Yeah, that you got quite hurt there, I think, Gav, didn't you?
Yeah, I was down to like 2 might or something at a 15.
Yeah. I got some points back.
I rolled a 6 and a 5.
I got like a
Fucking lucky.
2, a 3, and a 4.
Cool. Right. We'll leave it to waking up next week, I suppose.
Yeah. 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 If we're happy to, we can wind that down for the night.
That was a good
And
day.
yeah, as I say to you, I think you'll be a couple of hours ride outside of Iron, so you'll be able to get there well into the morning. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Grand.
Get
Okay.
to our sizable cliffhanger at the end.
Let me save and
GG.
Yeah, we just installed a fascist dictator to a tiny town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
restored.
Restored, yeah.
And
Yeah.
we get
Yeah, but we also just potentially turned her morality towards iron rule as opposed to being an innocent teenager.
yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah, she was already that
She
kind
was
of,
always a bitch.
she inherited the job. It wasn't going anywhere. She just has the expected right to rule.
And you'll remember when you met her, she was trying to literally bring the place down around her.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe
But anything bad can
she
happen.
was the real villain. Oh well. Screw it.
Fundamentally quite selfish.
We get free room and board next time we pass through there, so all's
Who
well
cares?
that ends well for us.
We're rich right now. So.
And minor inconvenience out of the way.